Hey guys, welcome to the Wastewater Operations channel. My name's John Kircher and I started this channel to create the content that I want to see. I've been an operator for 10 years and I feel like I've learned a lot, but there's still so much that I don't know. So if you're like me and you're curious and you want to grow, then come with me on this journey. I plan to provide content that looks like tutorials and maybe training, but I want things to be visual. I want to show things because I want to see things. So if you're interested in that, then like and subscribe and I'll do my best to keep producing this content. For today, I think we're going to start off with something simple, basic process lab. So what we need is some information. A mixed liquor suspended solids concentration, a return sludge concentration, and the depth of blanket in our secondary clarifiers. I use a handheld Tss meter, and we read the DOBs with a DOB core pole. So before we go in the building to get this RAS concentration, I want to tell you about this meter. This is a handheld probe from Insight IG. It's a model 3150, and it's basically the easiest handheld TSS meter that I've found to utilize here at the plant. With a simple snapshot calibration, you can basically utilize it on RAS, mixed liquor, influent, effluent, pretty much anything you'd want to measure in an instantaneous and real-time way. Now we have instruments in our basins, we have instruments all over the place, but I really like the process of gathering this information. So let's go get a RAS concentration. So we've got a flow-through sampler on our RAS system, and it's a great place to drop the probe and get a concentration in real time. Perfect. So the mixed liquor is a little trickier. What I'm after is a sample just after aeration. And I don't want to grab it yet because I'm going to run a settleometer on it. So first I need to get the depth of blanket in the secondary clarifiers. So while we're out here, we pay attention to the surface of the clarifier, what the weirs look like. If there's any scum or any formation on top, we want to know about it. It may not be important, but it also might be vital. So once we measure depth of blanket in all the tanks, we can grab that mixed liquor sample and run it up to the lab. Now that we've got our sample, we've got all our concentrations, we'll go back to the lab and we'll pour a settleometer. So the next step is a settleometer. We pour our mixed liquor sample into a 2-liter cylinder and watch it for a half an hour to see how far it settles. So now that the settleometer is all done, we can calculate our SVI. Now the SVI is the sludge volume index, and essentially it's the relationship between how much sludge there is and the space it occupies. Now this is a potential for the sludge because a settleometer is not dynamic like a clarifier, but it's useful in setting our return rates and understanding the liquid-solid separation that's taking place. So what we do is take the final value, the actual space that's occupied in this case, we take the final value and we divide it by the mixed liquor concentration that we got with our probe. 550 is around where we settled at 30 minutes, and our mixed liquor concentration was 3430. So 550 divided by 3430 is 0.160. We times 1,000, so that makes the SVI 160. In this case, it's not a terrible SVI, not for our plant and not for what we're doing right now. There's other important observations that can be made with the settleometer. The clarity of the water, the contents on top, what sort of shape that blanket makes as it settles to the bottom. These can all be indicators of problems or good conditions in the process. With all the data gathered, we can track from day to day, at a given time and at a given flow, what might be happening in our process. It's important to track things like the time and the flow, because here at least we have a pretty good diurnal, and you can see variations in this process lab based on those factors. So if you were wondering if something might be wrong or might be different, you really have to account for all those variables. So there you have it, guys, a basic process lab. Now, procedures like these are really more valuable if you do them every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It establishes a baseline for performance given all the variables, and that's really the only way to indicate true changes. So once again, if you like the content, like and subscribe down below. Maybe leave me a comment on something you'd like to see. Thanks for watching.